Okay, I just had this crazy alert. It's just crazy. And I got to tell you a story about this. A California man murdered his 2 children. He drove them down to Mexico, shot them with a spear gun, and left their bodies by the side of the road. He was the owner of a Christian school in Santa Barbara. And he said that the reason he killed them was because he believed they had lizard DNA. And now he's come out and identified the source of his belief. And this is where it gets really weird. This must have been 30, 40 years ago, a long time ago. So long ago, I don't remember what city it was in or even if it was in the United States or in the United Kingdom. But Louise and I went to this conference. I was speaking there about something. I don't recall the topic now. Probably the last hours of ancient sunlight. But in any case, we were at this conference that I was speaking at, and we decided to go to some of the breakout sessions. And there was this one where this guy with a British accent was giving a lecture on the history of the world. It was something called like the true history of the world. And it was a 2-hour lecture. Or maybe it was just an hour, whatever it was. Anyhow, the first half of the lecture, he was talking about, the rise of secret societies and how the Masons came about and how there was a similar movement in ancient Egypt and their symbology, and George Washington was sworn in a Masonic parade and all this stuff that I already knew and I knew was true. But most of the people in the room obviously were kind of blown away by it. People were really following this guy. I mean, super attentive. And then he starts getting into how there are among us, the people who have been running these secret societies, are actually people who have reptilian DNA. They're called archons, and they have created a genetically modified human that has some of their lizard DNA in it. And by the end of his talk, he was getting into how Bill Clinton was president at the time, this must have been in the 90s, how Bill Clinton every morning gets up and zips on his human suit. I'm not making this stuff up. Well, that guy was David Icke, or Icke, I-C-K-E. And now this guy from California, he says, yeah, it's that British guy with white hair. And Vice News is reporting, Icke's core beliefs center on an interdimensional race of reptilian beings called archons who have invaded Earth and created a genetically modified human archon hybrid race of shape-shifting reptilians known variously as the Babylonian Brotherhood, the Illuminati, or simply the elite. According to Icke, this group manipulates global events, including the climate crisis, wars, and the COVID-19 pandemic, keeping the human population living in fear so the archons can feed off the resulting negative energy. I'm telling you, I sat in the room and listened to this guy, or a clone of him, 30 years ago or thereabouts. And it's amazing.